Okay, guys, I'm so excited. I've had 2 coffees. I'm ready to get into it, okay? Talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about. Actually, not even wanting to talk about. This is something I talk about all the time with my friends, and I feel like everyone I talk to has the same perspective. But first, welcome back to According to Jaden. I don't even think I said that yet, guys. Okay, welcome back to my podcast. If you're here, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Episode 3, I think. I don't really know. But yeah, I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're spending your Monday with me. And yeah, let's get into it. Welcome back to According to Jaden. Hey guys, look at my little DIY mic set that I have going on here. I did order a mic stand, but she's not here yet. After the first couple episodes, I'm realizing I talk with my hands a lot, so I don't want to be holding my mic anymore. I also brought my laptop today, guys, because I'm coming with some research, okay? I'm coming with some facts, okay? I want you guys to at least walk away learning something from my podcast, okay? And hopefully you learned something new today. Just because I don't support cancel culture doesn't mean that I excuse abuse, that I excuse racism, that I excuse the fact that people should face consequences. Okay, this should not be a controversial topic at all. I'm also gonna try and not cuss a lot this episode because I realize I have a little bit of a potty mouth, so I'm gonna try and keep the fucks, shits, bitches all out of today's episode. Today we're talking about cancel culture. Who's ready? Basically, I think we've gotten way too comfortable deciding who deserves grace and who deserves to be literally ostracized from all of society, while forgetting the fact that every single one of us has done some crazy shit that we probably don't want to be public. But what we're actually going to be talking about today is the fear that comes with cancel culture. This is the part that me and my friends had a good conversation about the other day. This fear of irredeemable consequences that comes with being canceled nowadays. We was passing around the joint, things started to get deep, and then all of a sudden we're talking about cancel culture, and we're talking about the fear behind cancel culture. And we all sat there and we were like, you guys, everyone is just so scared to get canceled nowadays. Everyone's so scared that they're gonna lose their job, or that someone's gonna see an old picture of them, or that someone's gonna see an old tweet that they posted, or like in conversation, like that they're gonna say the wrong thing and offend certain people or offend a whole group of people. And I honestly think that this fear is so harmful to every single one of us. We are scared to think and speak freely. Here we are, United States of America, yes, 250th anniversary, and we are all canceling each other. What I'm gonna be talking today about isn't necessarily gonna apply to like the big celebrities or like the big people of power. Are gonna be talking about them, but everything I'm about to say applies to everybody. I'm talking about like us, guys. I'm talking about like the me and you, the regular old people, because I do think that people in power should be held to a higher standard. Also, you guys, what we're talking about today, I'm just talking, okay? I'm just speaking. This is my podcast. I can say whatever I want. You don't agree with me, that's totally fine. I don't need you to agree with me. Actually, this whole cancel culture thing has had me thinking about that one scene in Matilda when her dad, remember when he's like, I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're small. I'm right, you're wrong. That's basically what cancel culture feels like. Like, I'm right, you're wrong, there's no way around it. And I just hate that mindset. I also wasn't raised to think like that. Like, if there's one person who's always playing the devil's advocate growing up, it was my mama. I would say something, I'd be like, Mom, she said this, blah, blah, blah. And my mom would be like, honey, do you think that they meant it that way? Just give them grace, just kill them with kindness. Okay, so that's how I was raised, okay? That's probably why I think like this, so shout out to my mom. Thank you so much for always playing devil's advocate, because now I am able to like see a lot of different perspectives. The one thing my brain always does is like, I find a topic, or like I'll get super curious about a topic, and then I'll like be up researching it until like 4 o'clock in the morning, like I did with the JFK assassination like 2 nights ago. Okay, you guys, I was deep in the thrones of the JFK assassination. There's lots of conspiracies. I don't know what I believe, but anyway, I was looking up the definition of cancel culture: a way for communities to hold powerful people accountable when traditional systems fail to do so. For this conversation, when I say cancel culture, I'm referring to situations in which a person faces public backlash, okay? Like the Kevin Harts, the Rosie O'Donnells, the Kanye West, like all those people, okay? Whether this is through boycotts, we saw a lot of boycotts in 2020 and before 2020, like right before the election, we saw hella boycotts, hella deplatforming, people losing their jobs. People still lose their jobs. Like, did y'all see that person that when the Knicks won the NBA championship, there was like a video of a girl like walking around and she was drunk and she like kicked a traffic cone over, and then her employer found that job and now she's fired because you were drunk and you like kicked a traffic cone and someone got it on video? You guys, if anyone saw videos of me when I was drunk, that is the standard to be canceled or to like literally lose your job, to be doing something outside of the workplace. That's crazy. If you support that, that's actually also crazy, because I know for a fact every single one of y'all listening to this podcast has gotten drunk and done something crazy. Probably said the N-word, you've probably called people retarded, like you've probably done all the things that you're not supposed to do, okay? That's just one example, okay? We're gonna get into a lot of other examples, but I wanna talk about the timeline of cancel culture. So I went back, I'm talking like 500 BC, okay? I went back to ancient Greece times, okay? So back in ancient Greece in 500 BC, once a year, citizens would literally vote to exile someone, like fucking Hunger Games style. Not necessarily because they committed a crime or were found guilty of committing a crime, but because they viewed them as too dangerous or too powerful, or they simply did not like them. Thousands, this is not made up, thousands of citizens would gather around Hunger Games style. Actually, no, not Hunger Games. This is like Survivor, okay? Imagine Jeff Probst being like, okay, who do you want to kill? But basically Survivor, go cast your vote. And then they would write on these things, this piece of it's not a piece of parchment, it's actually called an ostra. I don't know if it's ostra or ostraka. It's like a little pottery thing. So like imagine like a clay, like a hardened clay thing, and you would like etch into it the person's name, and that thing was called an ostra, which is where the word ostracize comes from, because Athens in ancient Greece practiced ostracism. That's how we get the word ostracize. So that is like one of the earliest forms of quote unquote canceling someone that I found. And then throughout the Middle Ages, communities publicly punished people socially by like standing in the town square, having to wear like things around like a what do you call it? Have you seen those videos on TikTok where the wife will like make her husband like go out in public and like wear a thing that says like I cheated? Like, yeah, that started basically back in the Middle Ages in colonial America, okay? Wearing these signs to describe your offense was so popular. Like, that was very much a thing. Have you guys heard of the Scarlet Letter? Okay, this was in 1850. Okay, this guy named Nathaniel Hawthorne, he wrote a book based in the 17th century. In the story, this lady basically commits adultery. She has a baby by another man. She's sanctioned to wear a large A around, like on her shirt. They painted a big red A on her shirt standing for adultery. She's publicly shamed on a scaffold in front of the whole town, judged by her neighbors, socially isolated, and defined almost entirely by one mistake. Is that any different from 2026? Is it? I don't know. You be the judge of that. So although this is a book, like that was a book that also like inspired people to actually start doing that. Okay, so now fast forward to the 1940s, 1950s, you know, the US fucking, what is it, the communists, Soviet Union, whatever, they're all fucking mad at each other, you know, it's a bunch of bullshit, whatever. Oh, fuck, I swear, damn it, dang. Is that the first time I've cussed? I think so. Is it not? I don't know. So in the 1940s, hundreds of writers, actors, directors were unable to find work because they were suspected, without being found actually guilty, of communist ties. Even though our government at the time was actively recruiting Nazis to work for our government. They often were not even sustainable accusations, which is the reason why it's like a huge disputed topic now. But some accusations were true, many were disputed, and some people were quote unquote blacklisted despite never even being charged with a crime. Okay, that's just another example of cancel culture dating back to the 1940s. I would argue that cancel culture has actually not changed at all. It has simply just digitized itself into X, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all these places where people are able to share parts of their own life. What's different today is the speed and the scale is made possible by those platforms, by the internet, because now these things can spread globally within hours. Millions of eyeballs within hours. That's kind of scary. Have we actually reinvented cancel culture? Have we digitized it? Has it gotten better? Should it have ever been a thing? Will it ever stop? Probably not. When does punishment become entertainment? We see examples of this on social media, like see examples of this with Love Island all the time. I don't even need to say much more. We know all the people that have gone into the villa and left canceled. My question is, why are we so fascinated with watching someone fall? Or like, why are we so obsessed as a society, especially people my age and younger, with watching people lose everything? I think it's just a weird obsession. I don't know, maybe I could do an episode into the psychology of that, but I have no idea. In case you don't like understand the people that have been canceled, I'm just gonna give you guys a couple examples of people who've been canceled. The most famous, obviously, in my opinion, is Kevin Hart. Okay, do you guys remember when Kevin Hart had all those old tweets pop up days? How coincidental? Days before he was supposed to host the Oscars or some award show, some Hollywood award show he was supposed to host. Some tweets came out about him saying that if he ever saw his son wearing a dress, that he would tell him to change because that's gay or something like that. Okay, whether you agree or not with what he said, whatever. We know that as a result of that, he stepped down from hosting the Oscars. He had to publicly apologize after initially resigning. And although he continues to have a pretty successful career. Did you guys watch the roast of Kevin Hart, or the roast of Kevin Hart, the most recent one? Oh my gosh, that was so funny. I was literally dying. There were some parts where I was like, oh my god, you guys are gonna get canceled. Like, this is so bad. But then I was like, you know what? That's what comedy is for. And I fear we've lost that. Everyone's so fucking sensitive nowadays. We can acknowledge the fact that some cases of cancel culture do involve abuse, do involve exploitation, do involve like super sensitive jokes, opinions or statements, but lumping every controversy together can make thoughtful discussion way more harder than it is. I wish we were all able to have intellectually advanced conversations about our differences and about these different sensitivities that we have, instead of like jumping to hate or jumping to cancellation, I guess. Another person who was who's always being canceled, who's basically been canceled since the beginning of her career, Candace Owens. She was canceled and fired from her job for saying that genocide is wrong. I don't think that's a cancelable offense, if you ask me, because I don't think we should be killing kids in Gaza. Usually the people that can't want to cancel Candace Owens actually have never listened to like a full clip of anything she's ever had to say ever. Anyway, that's a conversation for another time. I could probably do a whole episode on that. Another person who was canceled is Kanye West. Yay, everyone knows he was canceled. Adidas ended its partnership. Balenciaga ended its partnership. The talent agency dropped him. Kim divorced him. Music was removed from some platforms, and he lost billionaire status. Kanye did also say he was gonna go DEFCON 3 on all Jews, which might have upset a lot of people. Another famous person who was canceled, J.K. Rowling, the person who wrote Harry Potter. I don't remember exactly. I should look it up. What exactly did she say? J.K. Rowling tweet. Dress however you please, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with any considering adult who will have you, live your best life in peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real? ? That's what she said. You guys can form your own opinions. That's the tweet that got her canceled. It's probably more. That can't be the only thing she said. Now I want to share with you guys like a personal story. One of the first times I really had to confront this idea of accountability happened in college. Growing up, I identified as half black, and I was raised in a family where using the N-word was something that was not questioned, something that was used in my household every single day by my dad, by my cousins, by my uncles. It wasn't until college that I realized that some people might think that I shouldn't be saying that word because of the complexion of my skin. And I was called out, caught me pretty off guard. My first reaction wasn't, oh my gosh, you're so right. It was like, my first reaction was, what do you mean? Like, I'm black. Like, what are you talking about? That moment, I wasn't defensive. I was really open to the conversation at the time, which looking back, I'm proud of myself that I didn't like just start fucking crying and like freaking out, even though I probably did cry a couple tears. That moment could have turned into defensiveness, but instead I took it as this opportunity to like dive deep into my ancestry, and it turned into like a curiosity of mine, researching my own genealogy, where my family came from, the history of race in America, what it means to be biracial in America, or what it means to be light-skinned in America. I learned that identity is often more complicated than we think, like way more complicated. That's probably something I could do an entire episode on and go real deep. I also learned that people can have different perspectives on things based on race, culture, where you grew up, the people that raised you. Looking back, I realized if that moment would have happened online, on social media, instead of a locker room in college, it easily could have been something like way bigger that probably could have affected me for the rest of my life. A short clip or a screenshot without context right there would have led people to make assumptions about me rather than giving me the opportunity to learn and to grow and to ask questions and to be curious. That's one of the reasons why cancel culture, this conversations, matters a lot to me. I'm grateful that being challenged pushed me to educate myself instead of shutting the whole topic down. I wish everyone would like be like that. And also, like, the ladies that confronted me with that, like, we're still friends. We still have a cool relationship, and it never became like a thing. It kind of was just a conversation that was had. And I remember calling my dad like right after, and I probably was crying, and I was like, Papa, they don't think I'm black. Everyone's telling me I'm not black. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. People have been identifying me and who I am for years. Do you guys want to see my Ancestry.com DNA results? Okay. It reminded me that accountability can lead to growth, and everyone should practice education and practice healthy conversations and practice just having intellectually advanced conversations about topics that we have like a really big fear about talking about because it's 2026 and everyone's sensitive to like everything. Okay, I wish we could like still have those sensitivities. I don't want people to like, I'm not telling people to like not feel a certain way about anything, but I think it's very important to have meaningful, productive, insightful, constructive, valuable, impactful conversations that will actually lead to us like not being so scared of being canceled all the time. I haven't met many people who don't have this fear like clouding over them of being canceled. I actually met one person this weekend, and when I was talking with my friends about like cancel culture, where it started, like why we're all scared to be canceled, and then one of our friends comes in from outside, and you know, he's like, oh, this sounds like a conversation, I want to hop in. And we're like, I asked him, I was like, so do you have a fear of being canceled? He goes, no, I work for South Park. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. South Park, they're kind of known for like making jokes and turning things into like conversations that people have in the home. And it's just like, wow, yeah, if everyone could live freely, like the people that work at South Park, to like just say whatever they want and do whatever they want, like maybe we'd be having more honest, engaging, and necessary conversations. I don't know. You could probably argue the opposite as well. South Park is kind of crazy. South Park has a reputation for sure. Honestly, if you know me, I don't really have many fears. I'm pretty fearless. I'm pretty cool and like that. I'm not scared of anything. Yeah, I'm not scared of being canceled because I know who I am. I'm very strong in my identity. I'm very strong in my morals. I'm very strong in like what I think is right and what I think is wrong, how I think people should act, the standard that I hold other people to. So I don't really, I mean, I do have a fear of being canceled, especially now having a podcast. I'm like, there's people listening to me. So like, you guys are actually getting like, this is the real me. I watched a TED Talk This girl named Sarah Jones. She's a writer and performer. You guys should go watch this TED Talk. It's literally like 12 minutes long. It's called Let's Reframe Cancel Culture. And she said a few things that really resonated with me. But one of the things that she brought up was a research that was in, Scientific American, about unlearning certain prejudices. Research shows that if we try looking honestly at ourselves, our biases, our privileges, we could actually improve the quality of our life. I don't know. And power structure is also something that 100% goes in with cancel culture, because when a dominant group has power, they get scared that it's going to get taken away from them. It's just like a whole thing, guys. It's a whole thing, and I think you should definitely think more about this on your own, because this is stuff I think about all the time with every relationship that I have. Every time I'm hanging out with anybody or having a conversation with a stranger, I'm always trying to be super graceful, knowing that every person I come across has had their whole entire life full of experiences that I know absolutely nothing about, that you know absolutely nothing about, and it would be so unfair to come to quick conclusions, especially on people that I've never met before, online. Obviously, there are racist people in America. Obviously, there are people who don't have the best intent in certain things that they say. Some people do mean harm with their words. We need to stop having these weird parasocial relationships and protecting people that we actually know nothing about and have had zero conversations with. Unless it's Beyonce, I'm obsessed with Beyonce. We can read blogs, we can watch TikToks, we can join someone's live, we can do those things, but Crime Junkie rule number 1. Do you guys listen to Crime Junkie? Ashley Flowers and Britt always say, Crime Junkie rule number 1, you never know anyone. We just need to bring back empathy. Can we bring back empathy? Can we stop with the cancel culture and just bring back empathy and being graceful? Because half of you guys call yourselves Christians too, okay? James 2:13. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Yeah, open your Bible. We want grace for ourselves, but justice for everyone else. How does that work? We've all lied. We've all hurt someone. We've all said things we regret. Most people have done something they'd hate to see public. Guys, me and Nina were talking about this the other day. Dude, when in freaking 5th grade, if you were to go back and look at my Facebook post, my Facebook that I wasn't even allowed to have, I literally got grounded for having a Facebook. I literally probably my status was oh, just saw this stupid retard midget walk past me in Walmart. I would be so canceled now for that. People would just straight up look at me and see fat midget. That's all they would think is about the one mistake that I made back in 2015. That is real life what they're doing to us in 2026. Yes, Donald Trump's literally a fucking rapist, racist, and he fucking neocon. Yeah, let's cancel him, okay? I'm not, there is a lot of valid reasons to deplatform people, but when it comes to our everyday life, people that we're interacting with, we need to stop letting, politics run our everyday lives. Everything is politics, yes, but, that's literally what the First Amendment is for. The First Amendment protects people. Actually, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm just going to read exactly a dumbed down version of the First Amendment. The First Amendment protects people in the United States from government censorship of most speech. For now, I feel like speech is about to be fucking taken away from us. It generally means the government cannot punish someone simply for expressing a viewpoint with some well-established expectations. So the government is protecting us from being able to say things, but the people that we surround ourselves with are giving themselves authority to basically overrule what the government has to say and cancel us and tell us that we can't say things, we can't express viewpoints, even if they are unpopular. Even when private organizations have the legal right to distance themselves from speech, should they? So take into instance places like Hobby Lobby. That was a huge... I remember in high school, everyone, either you were pro Hobby Lobby or you were against Hobby Lobby. And if you were against them, you're a Nazi baby killer. It was, do you guys remember that? I'm not tweaking. That was definitely a thing. Okay, that's just one example. So that's why these entities are doing that, because now they're scared of the consequences that come. Whether you agree or disagree with me, I want you to do your education, stand firm in your beliefs. I love debating people. I was in debate club, by the way, if you guys can't tell. I have no problem debating people, and debate isn't even the right word. I have no problem just conversing with other people who have different opinions. If we believe that people should be judged solely by their worst moment or by a bad moment, then eventually every single one of us becomes eligible for cancellation. The harder question isn't whether people should face consequences, it's where we should draw the line between like accountability, forgiveness, grace. Do we need to be the judge? Do we need to be the jury? Or can we just be ourselves? I think we should just be ourselves. I don't think it's that hard. Grace is something I walk in every single day, and I urge you to go out into the world after listening to this episode and move with grace and move with empathy. Bring back empathy. Can we bring back like just being normal fucking people? Let's reframe cancel culture. Let's get rid of that fucking word. Let's have impactful conversations. Let's talk to people who disagree with us. Let's do our own research. Let's stand on our own beliefs. Let's not be afraid of being canceled. If you walk around without this fear of being canceled, life gets so much easier. I feel like I've always lived that way, and I want to encourage you guys to live that way too, because truly we can't keep living like this. Like, we actually can't. All right, this episode's getting pretty long. Damn, I've been talking for a whole hour. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm asking you to think about whether we as a collective society, and you are a part of that, have confused accountability with public exile. If we have regressed back to ancient 500 BC, I believe people should face consequences. I'll say that again. I also believe people can change 100%. I'll say that again. I believe people can change. And I want grace for my own people. I want grace for my worst moments. I want grace for the mistakes that I've made in the past, and for mistakes that I am bound to make in the future, that you are also bound to make in the future as well. If you're a human being, that's kind of an inevitable part of humanity, is making mistakes. And I guess I just have to wrestle with what that means for me, what that means for everyone else, what that means for my friends, what that means for my family, the people that I engage with on a daily basis. And I want you to think about that too. Cancel culture is, in my opinion, harmful to our ability to have these impactful conversations. With all the different types of misconduct that exists, not all of them are legally or morally equivalent. A joke and an opinion should not be in the same category as assault, corruption, fraud. Like, those are two separate categories, and we need to stop putting them into one. Moving forward, let's just separate the two right now, because that's a lot of the problem with cancel culture. Is a joke, distasteful, harmful rhetoric are equivalent to fraud, assault, rape, corruption. Like, that is just simply, that is insane. That's not true. And if we move throughout the world thinking that that is true, we're creating a very harmful environment for everyone around us. So I want you to go into your week with these things. Believing in forgiveness does not require dismantling someone's entire platform. And I urge you to go into this week consciously having conversations that are more thoughtful and more empathetic. We don't have to walk into every conversation with like this little chip on your shoulder. Like, everyone get rid of the chips. All right, no more chips. Sound like Donald Trump. No more chips. Please get rid of all the chips. That was a terrible Donald Trump impression. I think that means I need to stop. Anyway, guys, thanks for sitting through this episode with me. If you're listening all the way, I love you. I hope you have a great week. Happy Monday. Don't participate in cancel culture this week. I know it might be hard, but let's just move forward with love, with forgiveness, with empathy, and with intention. I hope you guys have a great week. See you on Monday.